What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Coffee Hour Live with me, Paul Abernathy, your host. Thanks for joining me. Whether you're studying for your electrical exam, you want to look at some exam prep questions, or you just want to come together and talk about the National Electrical Code, maybe have a little bit of coffee and bring up any topic you want here just to get your week started, get your day started. We're Wednesday. We're halfway there. We're at hump day. So again, thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me. As always, I love for everybody to tell me where you're from, whether you're in our Fast Tracks program or not, and anything you want to talk about on today's episode. I'm more than happy to try to chime in and get going with you here early in the morning. Tanner says, love what you do, literally testing in an hour. Okay, well, positive thoughts, Tanner. Positive thoughts, you're going to nail it. It's not a matter of passing it. It's just a matter of, are you going to break the record today? That's the goal. Are you going to knock it out of the park? And if you don't, we're here. If you do, we're here. And we'll always be here to answer questions for you. Again, the journey doesn't stop with licensure, but you're going to nail it. Stay positive, and you're going to get it. What do we got? We got Adam. Adam's watching over on Fast Tracks Tube. It's 5 a.m. in Oregon. Got a coffee. Watching today. What is this? Watching this on my big TV today. Okay, big screen. Got it streaming up on the big screen. I do that too from time to time, Adam, with different things. I'll stream up onto the big. I got a big 85-inch here in the basement, and I stream up on that thing too. What's up, Edgar? Thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream this morning, Wednesday morning. Got your coffee, got your Java, got your favorite beverage. Hopefully it's non-alcoholic. It's a bit early, but hey, you do you. What's up, Red Dog? Thanks for joining me. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Charlie, welcome. Thanks for joining me this morning. And down in Florida, Dave, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Glad to have y'all here. Remember, if you're new to the stream, we do this Monday through Friday. What's up, Paul? Thanks for joining out in Houston. We do this every morning. Let's see. Joseph in New Jersey. Thanks for watching, Joseph. Thanks for joining us, coming here today. We do this every morning as a way to kind of get your day going. And you never know what we'll talk about. Dominique in Texas, my old stomping ground. Thanks for joining us this morning. We kind of do this every morning, get our juices flowing, get us discussing topics and things like that. What's up, Tino? Also out in Houston. Hey, y'all are relatives there. Texas relatives, we say. It's a whole nother brand. So yeah, whether you're getting ready to take an exam or may just want to talk code. And if you got a code topic you want to discuss, by all means, feel free to bring it up. And we're more than happy to talk about it as we get into looking some exam prep questions, dissect them out a little bit, go through the index, no rhyme or reason, may be able to find it, may not be able to. Index may be helpful, might not. Maybe it's just trade knowledge you need to answer some of these questions. But at the end of the day, even if you aren't taking an exam, it's just real good to get refreshed on the code. Any recommendations on books, podcasts, etc. about small business? Well, I would assume you mean things, like entrepreneurial-ish type of things in trades. I don't have any. I mean, obviously my podcast, but they're code-driven. But we talk all other types of topics. So hopefully you're listening to all of my podcasts. But as far as that, business-wise, I personally, when I listen to podcasts, I listen to the Side Hustle podcasts to give me ideas. I listen to some, business podcasts to give me some ideas, tips and tricks and things like that. I don't really listen to trade stuff. It's all probably another reason why I don't do videos on putting in switches or panels or whatever, and things like that. Is because I don't watch that stuff because like I did it for years. I'm like, I can't watch it again. I can't watch other people install something that I've done. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's different. It's why I can't really get into those type of things. Now I can watch videos and listen to podcasts on business and things like that. Marketing, accounting. I love to listen to marketing podcasts, good ways to market your business, things like that. But make a recommendation, I can't. Best thing I can tell you is to go to any of your favorite podcast platforms, like Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever, and just type in there a search for what you're looking for. And that's the best way to see. Over on Spreaker, you can do the same thing, electrician podcast or electrical trade podcast or something. You can go do that, and it might get you, some podcasts. But there's none specifically on the trade that I really listen to. Okay, I don't know if that doesn't help you much there, Charlie. I apologize, but that's about the best I got for that. Tito says, I subscribed and did a reminder, but it didn't remind me. I wanted to catch you on time. That's all right. We just got started, and we're just kind of getting into it, kind of sipping on the coffee before we get into. We haven't really started anything, so you're good. You got here. There you go, Manny, my only Facebook fan. That's what I like to say. I get more hate on Facebook than I do love. So thank you, Manny. Red Dog, can you share on feeders overcurrent protection, main lug only overview? If you're talking about 408.36 in the concept of your feeder overcurrent protection, at Red Dog, I don't really have a lesson for you, but I can talk about it. So feeder protection downstream to a remote distribution panel, which can be main lug only because 408.36 says that as long as it's protected on the supply side, and it would be because it has a breaker in your main panel. That feeder downstream is protected by the overcurrent protected device ahead of it. So that's the feeder overcurrent protected device. That feeder can terminate into a main lug only panel because it's already protected upstream. Now that main lug panel can be equal to or actually greater in amp value than the feeder overcurrent protected device. As long as the feeder and the overcurrent and the conductors and the overcurrent device are sized properly to protect that feeder, the main lug only panel is just, it doesn't matter whether it's, maybe you're doing a feeder that's 100 amps and the overcurrent device is 100 amps and you're feeding a panel that's 150 amps, remote distribution panel. That's perfectly fine. Right? Now, you have to be careful with the load because the old saying, you can't put 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. So you still have to do a load calculation. You realize that you've got a 100 amp overcurrent device and it's only going to allow 100 amps to draw. So you're not going to compromise the conductors because you're protecting them at 100 amps. So whether it's a short circuit, ground fault, or overload, it's going to trip. But it doesn't mean for capacity as far as the number of breakers, assuming you did your load. I mean, maybe the panel is 150 and you only ran a 100 amp circuit to it. Maybe it's a 150 amp panel just because you find that you need some extra space. You looked at your loads, they're very minimum. I think Steven 120 did a video where he showed a whole house with all the lighting on it, and it was hardly nothing. There is so much diversity in a house. So there's also diversity in running circuits to, let's say, a remote distribution panel, that type of thing. So in that scenario, as long as you calculate your load for your remote distribution panel, make sure you size your feeder to handle the loads, and you have your overcurrent that's going to protect the feeder, you're going to be okay. And then the main lug only, again, 408.36 is going to say, you know what, you don't have to have a main breaker in that panel. Now, that would be different if we're going to a detached structure. If we're going to a detached structure, then we have to have a disconnecting means at that detached structure, right? So we have to have a shutoff there as well. So that's a little different when the feeder is going to a detached structure, that type scenario, than it would be inside of the same structure. Okay, kind of an overview, Red Dog. Maybe I'll put together go to paulabernathy.com and kind of send me something if you get a chance about what you would like to see as far as a full lesson. And that's the best way to do it, guys. If you have something you really want as a full lesson, then go to paulabernathy.com and put it in as something that you want to see. And I am more than happy to construct something up for you on that. But that's a lot of information in a short amount of time there for you, Red Dog. I don't know if that answered it, but if it didn't, comment back on something else specific that you want. And I'm more than happy to elaborate. David, thanks for joining me. Let's see here. We got here Frank Hump Day. Thanks for joining me, Frank. Appreciate it. Let's see here. David says, taking my Virginia. Hey, right up here in Virginia. Test in March. Any recommendations on your site to help me? Well, obviously, if you're a fast track student, our course is going to cover all of the basics that you need. For those that are interested, right there is the URL, fasttracksystem.com. There is no better exam prep program than ours. It has videos. It has code question database. It has chevrons. It has competency reviews. Look, if you follow the program, you shouldn't have any problem. Now, if you're talking about on our website for free stuff, so we have the blog. Blogs are great. I encourage you to go read as many of the blogs as you can. You can skip the salesy blogs, but there's a lot of them on there on calculations. Definitely recommend that. If you don't have our Fast Tracks course, then I recommend, if you're just wanting to study, I recommend our Fast Tracks Tube, because at least it does have 8 hours calculations, does single family, multifamily. It does have videos in there. And you know, it looks like you're registered for the bidding software, but today at the spin giveaway, and I gotta apologize, folks, for the spin giveaway. I didn't get approval from the board last night. I expect it today. It was supposed to be for Wednesday. I think one of the guys couldn't answer back, so it'll probably be tomorrow before we add some of the minimalist stuff or coins or stuff like that to the spin. That probably will be tomorrow. I'm sure they'll get back to me today. I think he's back today. But anyway, you can get on this list and you can get the Fast Tracks Tube, and that will help you as well taking an exam. Absolutely. But again, you got till March. Hopefully you're studying properly and not, you're not just rambling through the code book. Hopefully. Adam's over on the YouTube today, not on our Fast Tracks Tube. He says, not to toot your own horn. I just want to say your classes are great and your time is priceless. Appreciate that. We have people out here charging over $1,500 just for calculation classes. Yes, absolutely. I can tell you our course is the best value out there, but I can tell you the enhanced one that also gives you the videos, and you get that 8-hour calculation video over on Fast Tracks Tube as well as the other stuff. I don't see how nobody can beat those prices. But again, we do it because we want to teach and I want you to learn. So I try to keep it as affordable as I can, absorbing as much as I can. Can I use the illustrated code book on tests? Probably not. Most of the test centers are going to make you use a traditional regular code book, softbound, or they'll let you use. Some of them don't even let you use a loose leaf, but they're certainly not going to let you have any with illustrations. Anything with illustrations. Now, some cases I heard where they'll let handbooks, which does have some illustrations in it, but you need to check your test center. And it's a PSI test. You have a bulletin you can download from PSI exam. And it'll tell you what you can and what you can't. But I would always check with the test center. Never assume you can write in your code book. Never assume you can highlight in your code book. Never assume that you can take anything other than the code book, like an index or something like that, a separate, like a Tom Henry index act. Never assume any of that stuff. Always check with the test center first before you start writing in your book and all that kind of stuff. What's up? Russ, good morning. Thanks for joining. Let's see. I have my master's exam coming up in 7 days. If I fail, I'm signing up. All right, Russ, positive thoughts. How I'd love to have you as a customer. Positive thoughts. I'd prefer you nail that sucker. That's what I prefer. I prefer you nail it. Again, I'm a little different educator than most people. I got to make a living, but I give enough stuff away, try to help people. I do not would ever want a customer just because they failed and they can, I want you to succeed. So got everything crossed for you. Just keep studying. Don't start second guessing yourself. Stay focused. At the least, subscribe to Fast Tracks Tube to watch those videos, for the last couple days. Get yourself some good database questions in the last 2 days before you're testing, that you can kind of go through your database questions or go back through these older videos. And I do have some exam prep ones where I go over a lot of calculations and a lot of stuff. So check that out. David says, perfect. We'll sign up for that today. Thank you, sir. You are most welcome. All right, let's go on and get in it. If you have any questions, feel free to give us any questions you want to ask, chime in. I am more than happy to elaborate on anything. Again, this is your time. Okay. So let's go to the lesson real quick. Okay. All right. So the first one we're going to look at today, if I was in the exam, and again, all these questions are out of the database. This happens to be exam 8 in our database of questions. Okay. So, Tanner says, you've seen all my exam. Have you seen them all? I bet you haven't seen them all. I got a bunch of them over on Fast Tracks too. I appreciate it. I always try to tell people real quickly. Let me make this clear because I do get this a lot. Let me do this real quick. I do get this a lot. When you see the videos of me teaching on YouTube or one of our other channels or wherever we stream, when you see that and you get our courses, please don't think you're getting me. It's not a video course. I am not a massive believer in everything being video. I do videos to supplement. You know what I'm saying? But our courses are very heavily, you got to read it to comprehend it, because I believe that the number one thing that people struggle with is reading comprehension. And this is why I like the concept of, and somebody's asked it the other day, I think it was Paul or somebody, when I show the image, can I leave the question up? I really like the thought that I don't leave it up, because I want you to read it, try to remember the key parts, the key triggers. And then if we go to the index or we go to the code, you got to remember it. And I kind of like that. It kind of feel like it makes you look at that question, right? And really look at it and focus on it so that you can remember the key pieces while you're looking up through the code book. Because that's how it's going to be on an exam, to be honest with you. Now, you might have to go back and forth. You get to go back and forth. But here I want to train the memory. Okay, I want to train you being able to pick out key terms and lock them in this little box right here. And then when you're looking at the code, you remember the key elements like, okay, type 2, SPDs. It's asking me where they can be connected on which side. Load side, supply side, either or neither. I'm lock that in as I'm looking through the code book. Now, on the exam, you can go back and look and back, but we're trying to train the brain. We're trying to train the mentality process. That's why I always tell you, don't use timers that are built into the exams. Use your 2-minute timer on your phone. Use a 2-minute egg timer. Use whatever you need to do. Do each question individually. And as I always say, and I hate to be redundant on this, I always say, If it takes you 10 minutes to dissect a question when you're studying, that is okay. You don't have to worry about your real time until you get down to the last 2 weeks of studying. Then you can start timing yourself. Okay. All right. I had to get all that out of the way. Joseph's on here. He is a Fast Tracks Black Legacy. Thank you, Joseph. Great, great program. And we just expanded that into the new programs. Frank says likes. Give me likes. Yes. Somehow that does something to something. And I got my share of haters out there. So all the likes I can get, I appreciate it. All right. Let's get back to the lesson. Okay. Let's dissect this really quickly and analyze it so that we know what we're looking for, so we don't have to, we can go where we need to go and we can stay there. Okay, so we're talking about SPDs, and we want to know, can they be used as type 2 SPDs? Can they be used on the supply side or the load side, either or neither? Okay, all right, so remember, SPDs. If you think about the NEC, and yeah, Adam says F the haters. That's right. So think of the NEC. We all know that now also I'm in the 2023 edition of the NEC for those that ask. I always use the latest edition, so it may be slightly different in whatever one that you're using. So think about SPDs, surge protective devices. You have some that are on the line side. You have some that are permitted on the load side, right? You have some that are permitted on both, okay? So it's one of those things where you have to really think, okay, either I know this, but going through the course, but just remember, type 1, always I like to think of type 1 out of the mind. I'm giving you some mind stuff here. We'll call it Paul's mind freak today. Is think supply side type 1. Think load side type 2, okay? So think of the service and think of line type 1. Load, okay? Think load, type 2. That's in your mind. Now, some type 1s can be on both supply and the load, okay? But type 2 is typically, think again, type 1. And what other trick could I give you? Think of it like hazardous locations. Just think type 1 of an SBD is more restrictive, means it's, I don't have as much control over it. It's not on the load side of an overcurrent device, so that's got to be on the supply side. I'm just giving you mind tricks. Type 2, type 2, it's still a condition, but it's less hazardous or less of a condition as type 1, so type 2 SBD's got to be on the load side. Just giving you things to think about, especially when you get into a situation where you're stressed out on an exam, okay? So the first thing I'm going to look at here is it really, there's a couple of ways that I can go, but I'm thinking to myself, this is what is this? This is an SPD, okay? So surge protective devices, specific. So I'm going to go real quick. We'll go to the index, and we'll just go, hold on here, and we'll just go to the index and go. We'll get the index one out of the way. All right, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to look in the index. And again, the index is not the holy grail, but, you know, it can help you out in a pinch. So let me get down here. Let me see if there's something under S for surge protective device, SPD. And if I get you dizzy with this scrolling, hopefully you're not driving. But I tell you what, I'd much rather have the code book than I would electronic version. I can promise you that. When I'm doing this, I can tell you that I barely can see the screen half the time when I'm doing this type of thing. But again, it's just a problem I'm having. All right, so let's see here. So let's go down here. Now let's see here. Okay, it's surge arrestor. Surge, there's lightning. Okay, so surge lightning protection, 242, right? So that's one part of it. Okay, so we have that one. Now, since the question was talking about, and there's a couple of things we'll look at and see if we can't find the answers in multiple locations today. So we know that 242, and I can promise you, remember what I've said before? Remember what I've said before? When you know that an article is very small, then it sometimes behooves you to go right there and do, what do? We do bold scanning, and that is look at the various sections and see which is germane we're looking for. In this case, we're looking for things like load side, supply side, type 2, things like that. That's the kind of triggers, right? But also the question said service disconnect, so we know we're dealing with services as well. So under lightning and surge protection here, 242. Okay, you also see surge protective devices, so we'll look at that. But down here you see services right here. So you would jot that down. 230.67 is what you would write on your little scratch paper, because that's a place. When you go back here, I'd like to go once and not have to go back. So I'm going to write 230.67 because that is in services. So that's telling me that's when it tells me I have to have a surge protected device. So that's what that is. But again, here it says see surge protected devices. So we're here, right here. And I'm going down here and I'm just looking to see what it has down here. I see locations. Okay. All right. That type of 2. Okay. So we've got there. So enough of me tells me that first thing that I could do is, if I was going on this logic train, I could go to 230.67, or I could go straight to 242 in bold scan. Okay. But we're going to go and look at 230.67 really quickly. So let me share you this real quick. This shares. Let's see here. I guess that didn't share. All right, hold on. All right, so I've got some anomalies going on in my thing here. So we're going to do it from here anyway, because obviously I got something going on. So bear with me. It's going to be one of those shows where the streaming software is not working like I want it. So let's go to 230, and we'll go down to 67. All right, so we're down here. So this is a surge protect, and you notice that it's not the full screen. So that's why I'm doing this. So let me go back here, and we'll do it this way. We'll get it. We'll figure it out. All right, so here I am at 230.67, and I'm just going. So here's location. Okay, so here. So SPD shall be type 1 or type 2. So at first you might think, okay, this means either, right? But this is basically saying I can use a type 1 or type 2, okay? So this doesn't necessarily mean that is the answer. That just says I can use a type 1 or type 2. So it means I could use a type 1. Where would be the location of it, okay? Or I can use a type 2, okay? So that just gets you started. Now, as I said, because I'm wanting to know about location, not just the fact that I need it for services, then I would go back to 242, right? If I can get back there, hold on. Right here, we can see that it is over voltage protection, 242, right? And so at over voltage protection, I go down and I'm on a bold scan. No. Okay. All right. This is part 2. Okay. SPDs. Okay. Listed. Yep. Indication. Yep. Use is not permitted. Okay. So here is type 1s. Okay. And here you see where it says right here. So here's a type 1 just while we're here. Okay. It says type 1. We're looking for type 2, but type 1's SPDs shall be permitted to be connected in accordance with one of the following: to the supply side of the service disconnect as permitted in 230.824. That's the things that are permitted to be on the supply side, or as specified in 424.14. Okay, if I click that, notice it shows what? Right there. So it's allowed also to be in the locations where the type 2. So that's why I said some type 1s can be on the supply side and the load side because of this language. Now, let's go down and get to what we're looking at there. Is we want to get down to our SPD type 2s. This is what we were here for. Okay. And here it says type 2 shall be connected anywhere on the load side of the service disconnect overcurrent protected device. Okay. Right there. Okay. And you go down here, feeder applications. Again, this one will be on the load side of the first overcurrent device. So this is all about the load side. these questions are. Okay. So let's get back to the lesson, and let's see if I can't share this one right here. I don't know why this is not doing it. So let me see if I can't share this. All right. I have no idea why that was acting funky. But anyway, here's what it is. So here we're back at the question. And it says type 2 SPDs shall be connected. And we know that after our logic train that we went through, and the 230.67 didn't help us much because that just told us that it had to be a type 1 or type 2, but we were more specific on the type 2. So get familiar with the fact that you have 242. Okay. All right. And so in this case, load side, and there's our reference, 242.14a. All right, next question. Says and if you got any comments, feel free to lift them. We're just kind of rolling through and looking at the answers. Paul said that was a tough one for him. Yeah, I mean, when you look at that question, you had to think, okay, the only way that you can logically get that one in your mind is think, okay, it is asking about type 2 SPDs. So you need to know what type 2 SPDs are. So we went to the index. That got us to 242 because we know we're dealing with surge protective devices. Once we got there, just remember that is very small. And the reason it got moved, and it used to be, I can't remember, 285s or something like that, and it got moved in your previous editions. It got moved closer to 240. So because we have overcurrent protection, now we have over voltage protection. So it kind of aligned it together closer. And so that's why it ended up at 242. But under that one, you're not only going to find the stuff for surge protection, you're going to also find lightning arrestor information there. So if you get questions on lightning arresters, just remember 242 is all about the over voltage. Okay, not over current, over voltage. So if you kind of lock that one in, but again, going to surge protected devices, you probably could have also gone in the back, and I didn't look, but you probably could have also gone to over voltage, and it might have been something under over voltage as well in there. So again, remember, the index isn't the holy grail, but if you spend enough time in there, you're only going to get smarter. I'm telling you, if you look at a question, take that question, dissect the crap out of it, then it's gonna make you better. Plus, the trick is it's getting you to move in and out of the code book, so it also relaxes you in a stressful situation. Now, if you're on a job site, the quicker you can find the answer, the better you look like the hero, the better you look like the person that solves the problems. That's the guy that gets promoted. That's the guy and gal that gets raises and all that kind of stuff. Learn your code. Remember, it's not just about being a wire monkey. You definitely want to learn the code too, because everything we do is based on code. All right, let's get back to the lesson. Hopefully this will work itself out here. All right. The disconnecting means that supplies the receptacle to power transport refrigeration units shall not be more than blank inches, this is an inches question, away from the receptacle it controls. Okay? So think about this one. This is going to be a tough one, because this is the one where you have to think, okay, I can look under power transport refrigerator units in the index. Somebody go looking that up, see what you see. I'm also thinking, do I know what we're talking about? So this is power transport refrigeration units. For me, this is one of those ones where I'm looking like, oops, this is one of those ones for me. I'm thinking, you know what? This has got to be talking about one of those electrified trucks or electrified trailers or something like that. This is one of those things, and I'm seeing somebody's texting me. So that's when I see that one, and I start to think, well, what else would I have in the code that would be power transport refrigeration equipment? And so obviously it's connecting up to one of those trucks that plug in and it's refrigeration unit. Other than that, I mean, that's kind of just a trade. You have to be just messing with the code. But in the back of the code, we can look under power transport refrigeration units. We can look under refrigeration units. Remember what I said? Dissect the crap out of it. Okay, I'd even look under disconnecting means. There's so many things that I would look for in this question. And I would take my time. I get so many haters out there who say, Paul, I've watched some of your video. I do. I get these folks. I get them. They go, I watch your videos. And for as many people that say they love how I break something down, I get just as many haters that go, oh, that's too long. It would take, you're too drawn out. That's how I teach. I can't help it. I'm not going to change me for anybody. Okay. And so I teach you to take a question and get your money's worth, right? Okay. Tanner, we're on the 2023 edition. I can't cover every edition. So if you go to the back and look under search protected devices, you'll see what in the 2020, you'll see what that's under. Okay. I believe it's 285 or something like that. Okay. So it's going to be around there. It got moved around. Okay. But yeah, I only do the latest edition because I really don't have the time to go through 17, 2020, and 23. I always move forward. I always stay with the 2023. That time. Let's see here. Rob says, is there a reason for the branch circuit over? I got to answer this question though, but is there a reason for the branch circuit overcurrent protection is located in 210.20? It seems that overcurrent protection is a 240 thing, not a 210 thing. I have been getting frustrated with the NEC layout. Well, 2029, there's supposedly going to be an NEC layout shift. And moving things around a little bit to try to make it a little bit, but just remember 240 is broad, and anything that would be in 210, for example, is specific to 210. So for example, 210.19 is talking about the overcurrent protection, and I believe it's the where it's well, let's see here. Let me go real quick to 210.20 and see. Let me see if I can germane it down for you. So it's in 210, right? So it's very specific and you said 210 real quick, 210.20. Okay, so overcurrent protection, that has to do with ratings. Okay, so that is just giving you, oh yeah. So I don't know if this will share. Hold on, let me just share. I don't know. Hold on, I don't know. See, I'm having some kind of mess up on the screen here today, and I don't know, but I'm going to share it instead. Yeah, I'm having all kinds of screen mess ups, fella. I'm sorry for that. Some things are just not working today, and I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. I apologize, guys. I thought I had this all sorted out this morning, and I did not. So again, nothing like being unprepared. This is why I would never get hired for a studio, right? Because they'd be like, dude, Paul, you suck. All right, so if you look here at this one, let's see here. I don't know who asked the question. Russell, let me put you back up here. So if you look here at this one, all this is talking about, it's not about overcurrent protection. It's about when you have the branch circuit, it's telling you how to treat that branch circuit when it comes to protecting with an overcurrent. So it says where the branch circuit supplies continuous loads or any combination of continuous and non-continuous, the rating of the overcurrent device shall not be less than 100% of the non-continuous load and 125% of the continuous load. Okay, so this is not really taking the place of 240. 240 is very broad. This is just giving you some guidance in 210 specifically to branch circuits, and it's not talking about anything specific to the overcurrent. The next size up allowances, which are in 240.4, protecting small conductors. All this is doing is saying, hey, by the way, the overcurrent device that's protecting your branch circuit, if it's a continuous load, then it's going to be at 125%. Okay, no different than the conductor sizing at 210.19 is talking about minimum conductor sizing. And you get two options here. You do one, if you have a continuous load, you size that conductor at 125%. Plus the 100% of the non-continuous, and you size the conductor. And then if you have adjustment and corrections that are in that same circuit, then you can come down and you can size it based on option number 2, and whichever one yields the larger conductor, that's the one you go with, right? So that's in 210. So the reason that 210.20 for branch circuit is just reminding you that, oh, by the way, those branch circuits, the overcurrent protection, if it happens to be a continuous load, it's got to be 125%. That's the only reason it's in there. so that 240 can be germane to the entire NEC. This rule is specific for the branch circuit application. I don't know if that explained that adequate to you, but that's what we've got. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to take us to the index real quick and see if this comes up. Now, again, I'll leave it here because, again, everything's so screwed up. So in this case, I'm looking for power transport refrigeration unit. So this is a good one, just to see if the index can help us any. Okay, so let's see here. I'll go to, why not? Okay, leave some comments if you want. You'll see them on the screen. Let's see here. So I want to look for power real quick. So I'm going to look power, and again, excuse my squinting. I think y'all can appreciate the fact that I cannot see very well. So let's see here. Power source, power production equipment. Let's see, power. Let's see, power structure, power distribution, power switching, portable power sources. Just looking here, again, not the holy grail power supply, power. Okay, nothing very helpful from that. What about refrigeration unit? Let me look under that, LLPQR. This is what we're talking about. For those that come in late, this is what I'm talking about, dissection, okay? Dissection. So let's see here. I'm gonna go down, refrigeration. Okay, refrigeration equipment. Refrigeration compression. Okay, I also look here. It says air conditioning refrigeration equipment, so that might be somewhere I want to look. Okay. All right. I've dissected that out. Okay. So recreational vehicles. No. Okay. Okay. So I want to look under air conditioning refrigeration just to see if there's anything under it. Again, I picked certain ones that I know are going to be whether it's the holy grail or not. Okay. All right. So aircraft. Let me look and see here. Air conditioning refrigeration equipment. Okay. So I'm just looking down to see if there's anything on here that might be remotely helpful in it. Obviously, those are all going to be mainly 440 stuff. So I'm just looking down. Okay. What do we see right here? What do you see right here, guys? It says trucks transporting refrigerated units. See, electric truck parking space equipment. Okay, so we got there by going to air conditioning, and this is where we finally see something about transporting refrigeration units right here. It says see electrified truck parking space. Okay, so that's taking us a little longer, and it's probably take you less because, again, I'm scrolling along, and it's easier to flip pages, but let me see if I can. Let's see here. Okay, so we're down here, and let's see. Let's see here. Okay, all right. So here's where we're at right here. Electric power. So right here, you guys can see it. That tells us we should be where? It looks like it's in. Well, that's electric power transfer. That's not it. Right. That's not what we want. I'm making sure my screen's up. I'm looking over at my screen. So that's not what we want. That's like an EV. That's not what we want. And I'm probably just not seeing it, guys. I tell you what, my eyesight, I definitely am going to have to make a doctor's appointment for my eyesight. That is definitely something I'll do. So electrified. I'm just not seeing what I'm supposed to be looking for. Oh, there we go. It's so small on my end, guys. I really struggle. Right here. Right here. Electrified truck parking spaces, 626. You look here, right here, it says transport refrigeration units right here. Okay. And that looks like that is part 4. So I'm going to go to the NEC And I will go to 626 to find this answer. Now, if you already knew electrified truck, the moment you saw that in the index where it said go there, you probably already knew that it was 626. Very small article, bold scanning would be the best thing you can do, right? And so you hit the bold scanning, right? And what we're looking for is specifically about disconnecting means. Remember, the disconnect, refrigeration unit, we're talking about the number of feet, inches, and receptacle it controls, all that. I do have special, I got 2 sets of glasses, and I've got the ones on that are supposed to help me see. So that just tells me the eyes are getting worse and the diabetes is getting worse. And since I moved to Virginia, it's pretty clear I'm not taking care of my health. So it is what it is. All right, so feeder, that has nothing about the disconnect or receptacle. That is nothing about it. That is nothing about it's the wiring. I'm bold scanning. Overhead management. Nope. No, okay. So this is talking about the electrified truck parking space supply equipment control meets. Okay, but I see nothing to do with any inches or anything in here. So again, I'm learning to bold scan right past what's not relevant. Okay. Don't see anything. There we go. Separate power. Don't see anything that's relevant. Again, you're going to have to get used. Bold scanning is not the easiest thing, but you see that there's nothing that's germane to our question in here. Okay. All right. Now this is feet. It's not talking about inches. Okay. So we have attachment plug, yada, yada, yada. Keep on. None of this stuff. Loss of power. I did system. Okay. Anyway, we should have jumped right to part 4 anyway, because that's what it said to do. But if you didn't and you had gone to 626, guess what you would have done? You would have just been bold scanning and got you there. All right, so here we are right here. And here's the branch circuit, okay? Right here, okay, got it. And down here, we're looking at that. And then, here's the disconnecting means for receptacles, all right? And the location. That's what we're asking about the location. How far can it be away from the receptacle unit it controls? Here it says not more than 30 inches from the receptacle it controls. 30 inches, okay? So that brought us back, so I don't think this will bring us back to the code question here. No, it doesn't. So I will do this. Bear with me. And here we go, best I can do here on the fly. So here we go. The disconnecting means that supplies a receptacle to the power transport refrigeration unit shall not be more than blank. That's 30 away from the receptacle controls. Now, the good news about this is the haters will say, that took you 5 minutes, Paul. I don't have time to do that on an exam. No, you don't. That's why you're practicing. If you already know it, then boom. But I expect you not to know everything you go into an exam. You're going to have to use index. You're going to have to use trade knowledge, things like this. Adam nailed it. Okay, Adam had it, right? He had already got there. Okay. So at the end of the day, it's just a process. Do just like we did. Dissect it out. Look through the index. The haters will say you don't do that, but they're the ones that people end up not passing the exam and they come back to them and they cry and they end up coming to me. I can't tell you how many calls I get from people that come to me and they bought other courses, were in other programs, did those weekend crash courses, and they still calling me on the phone. They still buying our courses because it makes sense. Take your time during the learning phase. Don't be so quick to try to answer the questions, okay? Take your time. So in this question, obviously, our code reference was right there. 626.31. Now, maybe you read this question in your mind and you thought right away, Paul, I knew it was electrified truck. Okay, because why else would it be refrigeration unit? That's typically on the back of a truck. I get you. Maybe you're an electrician, you've never freaking done that before. I've never wired up one of those things before. So at the end of the day, it's the process of looking through the code. So we started by looking for power transport refrigeration unit. Then we looked for refrigeration unit. Then we said, well, it says refrigeration, so I got to AC. AC units, I saw that majority of it was 440. I got down, I said, oh, it says go see power transport electrified vehicles. I think is what it said. Electrified vehicle trucks. That got me to 626. My choice at that point was to look at the definition of it in the index, or look at the words in the index and keep reading, or go to 626 and do bold scanning. Okay. Now the index said to go to part 4. We just went and started bold scanning, that type of thing. But you want to do all these things when you're studying. Don't do any one thing. Don't let what anybody else tells you. Don't listen to the noise outside. What I tell you after 39 years of teaching, it's going to help you. It's going to get you familiar with the index. You'll learn stuff. For you, now you'll forever know that if I get a question about a refrigeration unit, power transport, you know it's dealing with electrified truck vehicle. You know to go to 626. You know 626 is small now. Okay? There you go. Okay? So in our case, it was worth the journey. So there you go. And we saw the reference. Okay, let's do another one. The blank shall not be considered as an effective ground fault current path. Okay, this one right here is one example of a question that you should be able to answer right away. TJI, good morning. Better late than never. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this one, obviously, this is deductive reasoning right here. Obviously, a device should not be considered an effective. Enclosures, raceways. So this should be a logic answer, right? But you're thinking, well, where would I get the answer to this, right? Okay, yeah, I see some answers coming in. Manny is throwing in there, okay? So thinking of the logic train behind this, obviously this is a grounding and bonding thing. It's talking about an effective ground fault current path. Now, remember, up in the very beginning, or up in the front of 250, it talks about the prescriptive methods, and it talks about the methods to achieve grounding and bonding. It talks about all those things up at the very beginning of 250, right? Now, there's a difference. Somebody said raceway. So one of the things to remember is a raceway, a metallic raceway, for example, can be an equipment grounding conductor. And in many cases, it can extend the connection to earth, but it's not considered an effective ground fault current path. Okay. Well, metal boxes can be if they're all bonded together. Enclosures can be if they're all bonded together. Raceways can be if everything's bonded, right? All of those can be an effective ground fault current path. They carry that fault current back. All of those are plausible. But one in this has a resistance that is way too high. And it's one that we can't control, because we can control devices by making sure the devices are bonded, right? And if they have a metal strap on it that's connected to a metal box, we can control that. Enclosures, we bond them, we tie them all together, we can control that. Raceways, metal raceways, we can control that type of thing. Okay, so we're just using raceways in general, not trying to get over anal on it and say, well, what about plastic raceways? No, it's just a general question. Be prepared on an exam. This is the kind of stuff you're going to get. All right. So it's the blank shall not be considered. Okay. So when it says raceway, it's just being generic. Obviously, you wouldn't use plastic, but you get me, right? So the best plausible answer here is Earth. Now, remember what I said in the beginning of 250 gives all the prescriptive type of requirements. Okay. And those type of things. So it gives you everything that you kind of got to know, the basic foundation of why we do what we do, right? So I can pretty sure tell you that this is going to fail when I go to this, but I'm going to go as I knew it would. So I'm going to, obviously this is, I have got something definitely going on in my thing. So bear with me. I will just do this right here and we'll go there, because I don't know what's going on with my stuff today. Apologize. But we'll go to beginning of 250. We'll go to the scope first. Here's the scope. Okay, grounding and bonding gives you all the scope of what the grounding and bonding is all about. We got this nice pictograph here that can help you jump to areas that you need to be. that type of thing, right? All right, so here is general requirements for grounding and bonding, right? And this tells you, for example, right here, just kind of tells you what we're doing. The electrical systems that are grounded shall be connected to earth in a manner that will reduce the voltage imposed by lightning surges, line surges, or unintentional contact with higher voltage lines, and that will stabilize the voltage to earth during the normal operation. So this is why we connect our grounding electrode system. This is why we connect to earth, okay? For these reasons right here, okay? Not to clear an overcurrent device, but for these reasons, okay? Then we go down and we have to find out what are the reasons that we construct what we construct, okay? And so if you go down here and you see the question was about what? An effective ground fault current path. That's what the question was about. So right here, effective ground fault current path. All right. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm looking this over, and I'm looking for nothing about devices, nothing about enclosures, nothing about raceways, but I see the term earth. Okay. So remember, that's why it's important to remember the questions, the answers that are in the question. So here it says, the earth shall not be considered as an effective ground fault current path. Okay. Now, I can tie metal parts together. I can tie a bunch of things together to create an effective ground fault current path. In fact, we're required to do that in the code, to construct an effective ground fault current path, right? But in no point will the earth, because the resistance is too high, ever constitute an effective ground fault current path. Never, right? So again, I'm gonna go back to the lesson, and it's clear that this is screwed up. So bear with me as I share this. And again, it's gonna be the last time I do this, folks, because obviously I've got issues. Let's see here. No, bear with me. Obviously we have issues on the screen, so nope, that's not the one I want. Bear with me. Let's see here. One of those days, folks. One of those days. Okay, so there it is right there. So obviously we should not be saying it. So earth is obviously the answer. And there's our reference 250.4A5. Okay, so just remember the beginning. The beginning of 250 gives us the why. Okay, tells us what we have to do. And then it tells us the why we're doing it. And that is to, again, construct a low impedance effective ground fault current path back to the source in order to facilitate the operation of an overcurrent protected device. But it also, equipment grounding conductors do what? They also bond metal parts together and extend that connection. Okay, so it's not just an equipment grounding conductor. It's also a bonding conductor. There's been many people that want to change the name to equipment bonding jumper rather than equipment grounding conductor. And I don't think it's necessary. And I serve on code panel 5, and we've listened to this. I don't think it's necessary because it's very clear under the equipment grounding conductor's definition that it also serves a bonding function. And again, tying everything together, bringing it together, that type of thing. Okay, makes sense? Might make sense, doesn't make sense? Okay, now we'll do one more that's going to be hopefully very easy for you guys. And the first one that gives me the answer to this will be the first one on the drawing today. Okay, all right, so let's go to it. And I don't know if this will work. There we go. Okay, the first one today. This one, first one to give me the answer. Read it over. It says overcurrent protection for conductors of sizes 26 AWG and 28 AWG shall not exceed blank amps when used with pipe organs. Hello? Okay, so looking for your trigger words in here. I'm looking for the first person to give me the right answer and the code reference. If you just give me an answer, then I'm not going to ignore you. I need the code reference too. Forgot my music. Okay. Whoops. Forgot that one, folks. This question's gone. There we go. Okay. Question's gone. Oh, now it's back. All right. So let me see here. I got some answers, but I don't have any in, I'm telling you, think again. Giving you some time to answer this question, dissect it. Remember what we're talking about, specific. Okay, I'm gonna go look myself and see if the index is any helpful. I'm waiting for y'all's answers. Hey, y'all got the question, right? So what's the overcurrent protection for conductor sizes 26, 8OG, and 28 shall not exceed blank amps for pipe organs. So it's size 26 and 28 can't exceed a certain amp. So I'm gonna come here so we can see who. Okay, Russ comes in with this answer right here. Hold on. Russ, looks like Russ is the first one on the board that gives us both the code reference and the answer. All right. All right, enough of that Jeopardy. Okay. All right, Russ, let's see if Russ is the only one playing. There's enough time in there. Okay, Charlie. Charlie came in with just that, but it's not good enough. Adam says he's driving. Okay. All right, Paul come in, but he didn't give us the answer, but he came in with the code reference. Okay, so it didn't take most of you long to realize that pipe organs is very specific. TJI comes in last there, but still coming in. So pipe organs, obviously the trigger here. There's a specific article, believe it or not. I don't know how many of you have ever installed a pipe organ. Okay, this is probably, I guess there's a few of you out there maybe that have done a pipe organ. But if you go to the index, and look under P's, and I shudder to take you guys away because I know it's going to happen. I'm going to lose the screen. So I'm going to look real quick and see what's under. And you let me know. Okay, so pipe organs, it says C organs. So if you go to the index, it says pipe organs, it says C organs. Okay, so maybe there'll be more under that. So then I'm going to go to O. See what it says under organs. Right? You should be doing it too. I shudder to share this with you because it's going to screw everything up. Yeah, see, I told you it's just going to screw everything up. But you know what the heck? Oh yeah, it did. It screwed it all up again, dude. I'm sorry, guys. It is really screwing this thing up today. I apologize. It's poor planning. All right, O. So we're at O's right here. And it said go to organs. So I'm going to go look at organs right here. So we're at organs right here. And let's see here. It says conductors. All right, so that's not really what we're looking for. Overcurrent protection right here under organs. So I got the pipe organs, then I got the organs. I guess there's more than one type of pipe and there's something else type of organ, I guess, whatever. So it says 650.8. Okay, so I'm going to go to that. And let's see here if I can, I am more than sure this is not working. Yep, I can promise you it's not working. So I'm going to go right here. And this is the last time I'm doing this today, folks, when it comes to this, until I can figure out. This is a slight problem with EV Mux. And they do not admit they have a problem. But they do have a problem. Okay, so I'm going down to 650. And lo and behold, it says pipe organs. And obviously, I'm going to bold scan, so I don't want to take advantage of the fact that in the code book, you don't have this contents on the left. You just have the code book. And we know that pipe organ can't be that damn big, right? So we're looking at the scope. And then we look at there. Nothing to do with what we're looking at. Fiber optic, nothing. Source of energy, nope. Grounding, nope. Conductors, nope. We're not asking about conductors. It's about the overcurrent protection. Installation of the conductors. Overcurrent protection. Okay. So circuit shall be so arranged that 20 through 28. Okay. Conductors. Okay. So it's an even bigger range than what our question is asking. of not more than 6 amperes. Okay, so there's where we got the answer. Roundabout ways to get the answer. Okay, so let's see here. Go back to our lesson, and here we are back at the lesson, and at least that worked that time. Right here it says overcurrent protection conductors, and obviously the answer is 6. And there's our reference, 650.8. Okay, all right, Russ, let's spin the wheel, my friend. You definitely got that one right, and you were the first. So let's see here. Let me make a note here. All right, and we're going to spin the wheel of goodness and see what you get. So let's see here. Let me find Russ's. All right, Russ says table of contents was faster with finding that one, so he went to the table of contents. Absolutely. The key here with that is you had to kind of know that pipe organ was, something, because it's really not going to help you unless you don't, in your mind, know that that's an actual article dealing with organs and pipe organs, and that would have taken you to the table. So that helps you if you know that's what that is. If you didn't, you're probably going to find your butt back in the index, unless you just know it, that type of thing. But let's see here. Russ, there's your answer. So we're going to spin it and see what. Definitely not hearing the. Let's see here. I don't see your name on here, Russ, for anything. So definitely. So Russ, keep in mind, we are doing the drawing for these courses on or about March 31st. Hopefully it'll be live drawing, so we can, everybody that is in the drawing, you'll see their name being pulled out. So this is Russ, and you're in the drawing for that. Now that's a great course for post licensing. That's a great thing to have, because you can use the Fast Tracks Interact to ask questions, post pictures, and solicit comments. And you have basically a learning tool in your pocket at all times. So there you go. You're in the drawing for that. Let's see here. David says, good morning. How do you claim your prize? These are drawings. You don't claim these yet. Your name gets selected in a pot and you'll get picked. So you're selecting a chance to be drawn in this drawing. If you win Fast Tracks Tube, the instructions are you're going to go sign up for a free account and let us know, and we keep track of that. This says that these drawings, if it says drawing on the side of it, that means you're entered into the drawing, that type of thing. So in this case, Russ is in for the course. Okay, Russ, you're in for that. All right. The next one we're going to ask, since we know so let me let y'all know something. Tomorrow, let me let y'all know something real quick, because we're going to be adding these other things. Tomorrow, we'll be introducing a whole new screen, and that screen is going to allow you to do a hashtag in whatever you're chatting, and then it will randomly select you, and you will be the one for the drawing. It's a new feature. We'll be adding it tomorrow. Okay, provided I can get all this other crap fixed. And it's going to, everybody that's in the room, it's going to randomly go through. And if you put hashtag and the special word that we tell you, every time you do it, it's going to put your name in there. And that means you only have to do it once. It'll keep you in there so that we can do multiple spins. And that way it's very fair and it doesn't worry about the delays. Okay, so again, that was important for me. We're going to be adding that tomorrow. Okay, and hopefully we'll be adding the other stuff like the coin giveaway, the voltage drop card giveaways, the some of the other stuff, minimalist wallets giveaway. We're going to be adding that to the spin, but also these courses and things like that and these giveaways. If you didn't know what you're spinning for, by the way, you're spinning for the chance to win a 2023 Master the NEC course, 2023 Exam Prep Enhanced course. You're spinning to win a 2023 grounding and bonding course. You're also spinning to win a best bid hybrid next generation, which is over $3,000, close to $4,000 value software for estimating. And you're also spinning to win a potential course on how to learn estimating from one of the best estimators in the country. Okay, so it's all those are up, and we'll be adding more stuff, like I said, tomorrow once I get approval from the board. I expect it today. It was supposed to come yesterday, I think, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So maybe I just spoke too soon. Maybe they just haven't heard back from them yet. That's probably what it is. But anyway, there you go. David says he got the grounding and bonding course yesterday. You didn't get the course, David. You registered. You didn't get the course. You're registered in the drawing for the course. We're doing the drawing on the 31st. We're not giving away the courses. They're in a drawing. Your name gets in the drawing. You can be, the more times you win here, the more your name goes in. So you could win this thing selected 5 times, and you could have 5 chances to win the course on the drawing. But it's not the course. You didn't win a course. You're in the drawing. That's what you got. All right? All right. So let's see here. We're looking for participation. And let's see here. Adam French has been participating quite a bit. So Adam, we're going to take you over and let you spin the wheel. All right, Adam. See right here where it says up here, David? The drawings. And notice on the screen what it says. It says drawing next to it. You're entered into the drawing. All right, spinning the wheel of goodness. Again, I don't know why I can't hear it. Okay, but is what it is. All right. Again, so this one is Adam. Adam. This isn't like your exam prep course. As you know, this is post course, but this is still 2023. So you're entered into this drawing. So again, so it's for that. That's our 2023 Master the NEC course. No music for the wheel? Damn, you're right, Paul. Y'all are on top of it. Okay. All right. Let's do another drawing. Let's see participation. Actually, you know what? Paul reminded me of that. So Paul, I'm very generous today. So Paul, you're going to be the next one on the wheel. See what you can get. And we'll spin it. Ready? All right, Paul. Let's see, Paul, you have just, let's see here. Let's see, Paul. Let's see. Have you gotten registered for that before? All right, Paul, you're in for the bidding of for the drawing of the Master NEC course already, and now you're in the drawing to win that software. Whether you keep it, sell it, whatever. If you don't want it, but it's an amazing best bid hybrid. If you're in business for yourself and you're using some kind of software, this is the best there is. So we're putting you to the list, Paul. Okay. So you're in the list for that drawing. Tina says, so you're saying there's a chance. Absolutely. Okay, let me look back through here. So you're on that list. I personally would love the software. But he's offered to give me the software to do some training because I am used to bidding and all, but I've refused it until after the drawing because I want to make sure we give somebody the software first. It's just how I am. So let me look through here. Tomorrow it's going to be so much easier. Join me tomorrow, guys, because I'm going to have that feature built in here. It's going to pick everybody random, and it could pick you 3-4 times, and you get the spin. And we'll add the other goodies to it. Let's see here. All right, next one. David, for helping somebody out. Here, David, you get to spin the wheel. Again, join us each day. You might get it today, you might not. Everybody, you know, everybody gets it. There's always a chance. All right, let's spin the wheel for David. And I think David is in the drawing for the bidding software, so he's already in that drawing. That's good. You can always get in again. Increase your odds. All right, David, you are in the bidding for the enhanced exam prep software. Okay, so this is and I'll do a summary at the end, everybody's, when we get right before the drawing, so you can see all the things that you're registered for, that type of thing. Okay. Not today, but right before we do, I'll do a special show before the drawing show so we can have it all broke down. And then I'll put it out on social media and I'll let you know. It'll say in the tag that this is a pre-drawing, so you can see your name or your screen name on the list, that type of thing. Okay. All right. So that is David Carter. All right. Let's see here. All right. Next at random is participation. It's Manny. Manny, my only Facebook guy. All right, Manny, we're going to do a drawing for you and see what you got going on. Okay. Charles says, if I buy the software now and win it later, I get a refund. Hell no, you don't get a refund. My advice to you is don't buy the software. No, I don't want to get into refunds. Because I'm giving away, so you're not paying me anything. So you'd have to talk to whoever, you'd have to talk to Best Bid if you're buying it, that type of thing. Man, don't make it complicated. Don't make it complicated, bro. All right, Manny. Manny, spin the wheel for Manny. How many people think that Jeopardy's going to come after me for using their music? Like, I got deep pockets. Certainly not going to be Alex. We know that, right? Manny, 1 year Fast Tracks Tube. Aren't you already a Fast Tracks Tube subscriber, Manny? Let me know. If you're already a Fast Tracks Tube subscriber, we'll spin this bad boy again, or you can elect to voluntarily give up yours and we pick somebody else if you want to voluntarily, but or I'll let you spin again. It's the last one right here today, so I'll let you spin again if you already have the Fast Tracks Tube subscription, whether you got it in the enhanced program or you're already a subscriber over on Fast Tracks Tube, that type of thing. Like, Manny, if you're still here, give me a response. I know there's a delay, but if not, we'll hold on, Manny. And hell, I'll just give another one away anyway. Let me look through here. Participation. Let me look through the participation. Tomorrow's gonna be so much easier for this. It means I can do it without me having to do it. Okay. Let's see here. Number of participants. Keeps track of the numbers. All right. Looks like Troublemaker Charlie's popped up as the numbers. Okay. So Charlie the Troublemaker. Copyright. Let him come get me, Abraham. Come on, I'm right here. Come and get me. Dude. All right. So anyway, it was part of the software that I downloaded, and it said I get free rights. So it must be changed enough that I'm getting free rights or something to it. I don't know, but I don't care. All right. All right. So what did I say? Who did I say? Charlie. Troublemaker Charlie. All right, we're gonna start. Charlie, you're gonna get you a chance to do something else. Your wife ain't with us today? What's up with that? All right, let's go. All right, Charlie, I think you already have Fast Tracks Tubes subscription. Joseph says, they've given Manny the chance to exercise his negotiation skills. But I don't hear me. It doesn't look like, I guess he's gone. It looks like he's gone. So you know what? Because he's gone, Joseph, you get it. Okay? Charlie says he wants to spin again. Okay, so Joseph, we'll give you Manny's. Manny, I didn't hear back from you, so we'll spin, Joseph. We'll spin. Charlie's stacking it. I didn't hear back from Manny, so let's go here. Joseph, see what you can get. All right, Joseph, Fast Tracks Tube. I don't know if you already have a subscription to Fast Tracks Tube, the video platform, but you know what? There you go. So I don't know if you have it already, but if you don't have it, then just go to fasttrackstube.com, go up where it says membership plans, click on it and get a free membership, and I'll have Darlene elevate you after you get that all registered. Okay. Charlie says that he wants to spend, what's it, wife? What is it Charlie says? What did he say? Also, wife is due on Mondays. Do whatever she wants. Due is in due? Like in pregnant due? Is that what you mean? Oh, Joseph's expired. Perfect. There you go, Joseph. Just let us know what your username and everything, and we'll update it. We'll get you back into it. All right. All right, Charlie, let's spin this thing for you. Giving birth. Whoa. Hold on. I got stuff for that. Hold on. Jeopardy, turn that damn thing off. What do I got? Hold on. Wait a minute. Where we got? Here. Shout out to Charlie's Miss Electric, Charlie's other half. Creating future electricians. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And yeah, talk about changes. Russ is right. Life changes. Dude, until I raised mine up to about 26, and now he won't even talk to me, and that's fine with me. Okay. He's changes. He's okay. Anyway. Okay, so anyway, congratulations, Charlie. Let's spin that wheel. Let's get you something good. Oh, wait a minute. Daggone it. 3 baby supplies for a year. Oh, you already got one of these, Charlie. Okay, we got to spin again. You already have that. Both of you have that, so spinning for you again. Got to get something, get you registered for something good. Tomorrow we'll be adding some stuff, so these little wedges will be even smaller, folks. There you go, Charlie. I don't know if you already have it, but we'll put you down for the 2023 G&B course. All right. And so you don't have to share with your wife because she's pregnant. We'll put you down, and we'll put her down as well to get in the drawing as well. Okay, we'll put her down as a gift to you. We'll put her down in the drawing as well. Okay, all right, enough of the Jeopardy. All right, folks, sorry for the glitches on the screen, getting the shared screens right. It's one of those funky things. It is what it is. I wasn't overly prepared, I guess. That's okay. So anyway, hopefully you all got something out of today's episode. Again, we're just here to have a good time. Share your comments, share your thoughts. We love the fact that you can all be a part of it and join in. And, we ask different questions and get different answers, and we go look at the index, and some things are easier to find in the index. Y'all all get to see that Paul's blind. And remember, bring your questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Hopefully I answered everybody's questions that you brought today the best I could, that type of thing. We're going to be, again, adding some more goodies to the wheel once we get approved. I know we're going to be adding the coins. I know we'll be adding the wallets. We're also adding, I think, these are cool. I don't know if we are or not. I don't see Jeff. I was looking to see if I saw him out there. Rumors are we were also going to be adding the license plates. I don't know if you've seen these commemorative license plates. They're freaking weird, but they're cool. They're black anodized, but rumors are we're going to be adding those, and they can be customized, and we will do that too. So we'll see. But we want to add a bunch of stuff. We want to make that wheel, those wedges, get really small. Okay. That type of thing. So that, you have so many options in there rather than such big wedges, that type of thing. I want to be able to give away as much stuff that I can give away. Okay. So that thing, maybe we'll even add in there a 2023 bundle. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's like $600 value there. Maybe we'll add that in there. Okay. As well as an option. Okay. Always wanting to add stuff, always wanting to learn. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, guys, do me a favor. All you got to do is go to paulabernathy.com, send us something through that portal saying, Paul, I'd like you to do a lesson on this. I'd like you to do a lesson on that. Maybe you just like us when we look at code questions and just gives you a morning to relax, that type of thing. Maybe you want a morning where we do nothing but the code and you don't want to talk about anything else. Well, let me know. Say, Paul, can you do one where you do an hour and you're just going over code questions, not really interacting and making it a fun morning, but you're like, I need you to focus just on questions. We can do that too. You let me know what you want for this morning series, folks. That's what we're here for. Okay. I want to make it something that you enjoy coming to and having your coffee, that type of thing. Okay. Let's see. What does David say? I'm sorry, I still struggle to see screens. It says, David says, bro, it's because of people like you, the amazing electricians are made. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Well, you're most welcome, my friend. I can tell you that the stuff that I see on YouTube's, TikToks, Instagrams, and all make me cringe. I don't think I'm the best in the world, but I'm old school. Electricity hasn't changed much. We've come up with some new technologies. We've come up with some new different types of splices, but wire's wire, cable's cable. The way you run it, the skill that you use to run it hasn't changed. And I just like to see electricians learn the mental part of it. And that's the NEC, because everything you do with these comes from something you've learned up here. So when you in your mind think, oh, I know that I'm securing NM cable, and you're thinking, I know 4.5 feet and within 12 inches of box, unless it's a single gang box, then it's within 8 inches. All that stuff that you learn, you've learned because you've done it, but there's a code behind it. There's rules behind it. And so that's what we try to do in this morning show. And I also want to apologize to Instagram folks. I forgot to turn on the Instagram stream. It's so manual. Everything is so manual that I was so busy that I didn't turn it on. So Instagram folks, I apologize. Tomorrow I will be more on the ball. I will do better. I promise I will do better. I always try to do better. Okay. I'm not perfect. I'm not on any network, right? So I don't have to worry about what NBC or CBS or Newsmax, you've got to be perfect. No, I'm just Paul. And some haters out there will hate it. Some people will like it. Anyway, that's all I got, folks. I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining me today. God bless. And I will catch you tomorrow on a Thursday, and hopefully we'll have everything worked out and we'll have some new items on the wheel and we'll have a new way to select people. That's going to be big, 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 big. So everybody, have a blessed day. Stay safe. Do the right thing. Don't put anybody else in harm's way. Don't put yourself in harm's way. We want to have you back here tomorrow because we appreciate you. Take care. God bless. What is with this software?